include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. Well, my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was efficient.
Welcoming you back in for Game 4 of 8 in this marathon of playoff hockey we have today. Yet another great matchup, sticking in the Bantam Red 2 division. It is the Chicago Bulldogs going up against the Cyclones. Both of these teams, of course, playing in the Bantam Red 2 division. Two teams, two different stories so far on the season. We'll start with the Chicago Bulldogs, who finished the season 11 wins, 9 losses. A goal differential of +1, 55 goals for, 54 goals against. As for the Cyclones, they grabbed that 8th and final playoff spot with a record of 6 wins, 13 losses, and 1 tie. Their goal differential not as great, but they still found a way to make it to the playoffs. 55 goals for, 70 goals against for -15. Winners of 2 straight to end their regular season, though, ending it on a high note. My name's Andy Diedrich. Steve Taylor will join us intermittently as my color commentator has been relegated to the camera because the hockey, the show, everything involved must go on. And we thank you for being here on Sports Broadcast Solutions with us in a suddenly very loud green rink here at the Recplex in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. We finally got the tunes pumping. I think somebody got the playlist right. But anyways, two great teams again here. Playoff hockey's really hitting it. Steve, you got some time beforehand. Thanks for joining us. Steve Taylor, everybody. What you got?
So the Cyclones are just one half of the teams that have coming into this game doing really, really well. Last regular season game was a 4-3 win in overtime over the Vipers. 12 penalties, but neither team could connect on the power play. The only time there was a connection during a power play was the Cyclones were able to score a shorthanded goal. They are 8th in the league, coming in an overall record of 7-18-1. Currently on a 2-game win streak and hoping to extend that against the Bulldogs. They played Bloomington in here last night.
Thank you, Steve. Of course, those two teams you saw before this, if you were with us, in that Blues versus Bloomington matchup, which the Blues won late in overtime. These two teams in the same bracket in the Bantam Red 2 playoffs in bracket 1. We are now underway in these contests, 14-minute periods for these two Bantam Red 2 teams. The Bulldogs started off their playoff campaign with a victory. So a win here puts them pretty much in the driver's seat to potentially control their own destiny and clinch a berth in the Bantam Red 2 title game. The Cyclones back against the wall, a loss in their first match of the playoffs. Leaves them with no hope unless they pull out a victory against one of their rivals in the Chicago Bulldogs. Again, we will give you updates on scores as we get them. Appreciate you sticking with us on SBS. It's been quite a day for us already. We hope it's much of the same for you. We're having a lot of fun, and thanks for joining us. One minute in, getting to the action. It's the Cyclones wearing their navy blue uniforms with the dark yellow trim as opposed to the Chicago Bulldogs wearing the white uniforms, Bulldog logo on the front, the blue trim to accompany. It is the Bulldogs who will be attacking early here. Forecheck pressure delivered back from the Cyclones, however. Jahari Fallon has it in the center. Nice set of moves. Poked out of there by 0-0. Zahir Davani. We had a 0-1 earlier instead of just the number 1. This time we got a 0-0. And entering it over, shooting wide of the net for his first touch of the game, number 18 of the Bulldogs, Charles Prescoda. Aka shoots wide. One of the two Aka brothers, that was Andrew that just shot that. His brother Cameron dons the 3 jersey. We'll see them at the same time on the ice numerous times today. And there is Cameron making his first appearance as well. A lot more substitutions for these teams than the other squads we've seen. We'll see if fatigue plays as much of a factor in these contests as it did in our early ones. Cameron Aka will shoot. Nice little save there. First look for the Cyclones netminder, Jordan Katzentones. Nice little save with the right. He looks sharp with the black tape stick, black leg pads, black blockers. A sharp-dressed man, but across from him, also in the all-black accessories and some sort of crazy colored helmet, which looks real good, which you'll get to see at some point for the Bulldogs. Actually can't tell what number that is in a second, but we'll give credit to these sharply dressed gentlemen in a second. As a matter of fact, could be a sharply dressed lady for all I know. Veronica Pulik wears number 57, and I believe is one of their goalies. On the other end, though, the Bulldogs score! Early for the Chicago Bulldogs. Netting that one. First goal of the day, Ryan Brentz just under 3 minutes into this one, which you would have known if I remember to start the clock. Apologies, Brian Brents. Still a great goal to start things off here. Appreciate you sticking with us. We're having a little bit of difficulties, but we're still making it happen, as are the Chicago Bulldogs. They will play this one from in front. This is the fourth game over here on the green rink at the Recplex today. The first two games were Bantam Red 1 games. The Yellow Jackets took down the Falcons in overtime 5-4. Peoria galloped past the Sabres 9-0 in that second Red 1 game. In the most recent matchup, you just saw another overtime game. The Blues down Bloomington. Bloomington, the number 1 seed, but fell in overtime to the Blues on a late goal, 3-2. Back in the action, here's Zahir Devani had it. Up ahead, Anthony DeNicola. Flips it back around, but grabbing it on the line is Devani. Will get an offside. They're a bit too ambitious trying to apply that pressure. Start back with a face-off near the blue line. Bulldogs bench can feel the energy. But back the other way, Angarola, nice set of moves. Gives it to a teammate off the post. It indeed is Veronica Pollock in net. That was her first real test. Maybe the shot went wide, but still her presence changed the trajectory. We'll get a stoppage. Believe it was another offside. We'll see where he ever drops that face-off puck. We do have tunes in here now. The ambiance has started. The immersive experience is all-encompassing here for the folks in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. 45 minutes south of Milwaukee, an hour north of Chicago. Here at the Recplex, the largest recreational complex in the United States. Very well advertised on the Recplex's website. And why not? Nice set of moves, getting it in there, but batted out of the way. Jordan Katzentones wearing 91 is the one in net once again for the Cyclones. Devani's in there, tried to go 5-hole, unable, batted back out. Off and running is number 17, Rustin Angarola. Had it for a moment, Ferrej was retreating. Now it's back to Angarola. 35, Jahari Fallon lost his stick, still down. It's actually 35, Caden Patepo who lost his stick, went to go collect, now gets it back, stick in hand. He'll enter first, flanked by Angarola and Ferrej. Shoots, goes wide left. Rebound is collected by Jason Bogus. Out to DeNicola, nice save from Pollock. Able to paw it, no pun intended, before the charging Cyclones could get there in time. 1-0, still lead the Bulldogs. You guys can feel free to yell at me as much in the YouTube chat as you want if I forget to start the clock again. My mistakes. Once again, we're going to make this happen, folks. These kids deserve their time in the spotlight, and it's our intention to give them that best possible spotlight we can. Tripping and falling is a defender for the Cyclones. Hitting the ice is J.J. Schimmel. It's Akkad. This one's Andrew. Defended hard. Kozlowski wanted to come to help him, but that Cyclone defense remained hard. Fallon up along the boards alongside his opponent, Priskota. 1/3 of the way through the first period. Icing is the call. The lone goal to start this one off is from the Bulldogs, and that is all we have on the board so far. That one was off the stick of Ryan Brents. Feel free to hop on the YouTube chat, cheer on your favorite team, give us one of your favorite hockey memories, anything else you'd like to share with the class. Everybody else that's tuning in on this, This fine Saturday afternoon, whether you're here locally in Pleasant Prairie, somewhere in South Africa, like someone was watching the last game, or anywhere in between, we thank you for tuning in. Out and around defending Gorski. Heacock to his left, defended well, however. The mirroring there delivered by Connor Costanza. No icing call. Referee rules it deflected. Line change for the Bulldogs. They needed some fresh skates. Heacock stays out for the Cyclones. Nice backhand pass to his teammate. Heading it momentarily, Timothy Durand. Puck goes around the net of Veronica Pollock. Skating through and getting it out. Now neutral zone. How will the Bulldogs attack? Bogus to his right. Nice set of moves. Fake. Couldn't get it out. Defense collapsed just in time. Bogus recollects. Now to Sweck, who will there collect it. Puck is frozen with 6:41 on the clock. Katzentones, the man in net once again. That's Jordan Katzentones. Allowed the one goal early. Standing tall on the net, though, is a big presence. And if it's just the one goal he lets up today, the Cyclones have a good chance of winning. But right now, the Bulldogs have this game, and it is theirs to push the gas pedal in if they so choose. Behind the net, nice and moves backhand. Weakly hits the right side of the net. Cameron Akka was the one that shot that. Bouncing back, this time collected by Durand. Nice fighting for it with Akka up along the boards. Devani in, slot, still loose. Unable to clear the Cyclones. Bulldogs trying to benefit from it. Redirect from Sweck goes wide. Bouncing puck, able to grab with the glove. Somehow it might have slid down his shirt directly into the glove, but a save is a save, and that's another one for Katzentones. Looking 5:55 remaining in the opening frame. Face-off is won by the Cyclones. They haven't had a lot of time on offense the past couple minutes. The Bulldogs keeping up this forecheck pressure, but now here come the Cyclones with Angarola to lead. He's to the front, 1-on-0. Little too far in front of him. Pollock with a nice stick out of there and goal. DeNicola keeps it in. Waves and misses. Batted Potempa, blue line, will fire. Goes wide, bouncing out to Costanza and Brents. Now it's the Cyclones turning offense. Pollock blocked it, dive, stick, frozen. I'm going to get this clock thing down if it is the last thing I do, folks. My apologies. Face off in front of Pollock's net. Off the skate of number 25, Charles Trey. DeNicola in through, bouncing puck through the slot. Potempa over, meets the defensive Hahn. Hahn, nice shove into the boards of Potempa, good clean hit. Back through the middle, DiFilippo. Two sets of brothers on the Bulldogs. We already mentioned Andrew and Cameron Akka. There's also David and Abraham Colehep. That was one of the Colehep brothers with the little backhand right there. Abraham has it, and there's back to his brother David. 91 and 92, David and Abraham, respectively. Potempa, Angarola's in. 1-on-2. Blocker from Pollock. Around the net, loose in the slot. Save from Pollock. Is that in? Now it's still loose. Another save. The defense cleaned it up in the nick of time. But goodness gracious, the Cyclones wanted one there. Colehep brothers playing along the boards. Hahn now resets to his teammate in the far side, Costanza. Neutral zone now in. Farage. Swing and miss from both teams there, Hahn and Potempa. Kohlhepp, hard hit delivered to him. Patepa's the enforcer, clearly. What a hit. As that puck goes into the Bulldogs bench. Talk about toughness, the ability to pop back up after that hit from Patepa. Impressive stuff. .349 the clock should now read, and exactly it does. New faces on the ice for both teams. Pollock with another save after the face-off. These Cyclones like their set pieces and what they can do with them. Around the net, no one's home over the middle to the slot and outside. Andrew Aka's got it out wide. One-on-ones. Gets past his defender who falls. Aka shoots wide. Way to get out there. Make his body look big. Cats and Tones. Greaves off his skate. Back in. Andrew Aka. Wants to feed it in. Off the skate. Bogus. Great save. Cats and Tones. You would never know this is a one-goal game right now. Jordan Cats and Tones has a lid on that net on your right side. Face off one more time. Cats and Tones earning his keep so far, but Devani and the Bulldogs really spending a lot of time on attack in their own zone. Bogus along the boards. Back to Devani retreating. Around the net of Pollock, monitoring her crease. Back to the middle. Referee says that wasn't touched, and it indeed will get called for an icing. 2:54 says the scoreboard here in Pleasant Prairie. Following up after this, another pair of Bantam Red 1 games. Peoria is going to come back and play Afton. The Yellow Jackets come back and play the Indy Fuel after that. And then we get back to our Tier 2 action, our second last game of the night, the Ice Dogs and the Sabres. And our nightcap scheduled to start at 8 p.m. We'll see if that holds up in the overtime games we've had. The Falcons and St. Peter's. Puck's supposed to drop 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, given that we are in Wisconsin. Aka to the center. Backhand shot, up and over. Have to credit Cats and Tones. His ability to move around that crease, get out when he needs to, has been really impressive. But Costanza's got it out wide, and a nice, maybe a short hop there from Cats and Tones, looking like a baseball catcher. Another save for the netminder. Face-off stays in the zone for now in that corner. A couple games of hokey-pokey going on. Now that puck's out and moving. Aka sends it back in. This time it's Cameron. Briefly having on that far side, Cameron Schneewis. Now it's Ferres. Patepa with him in the middle. Off the stick of Patepa. Pollock wisely will just cover that one up. $1:48 remain. We'll see if the dynamic of this game flips at all, but so far, solid chances for both teams. The goaltender's story of the game was just that one early goal from Ryan Brent's, the lone mistake from Jordan Cats and Tones. However, on the other side, the Bulldogs' Veronica Pollock still pitching a perfect game, a clean sheet so far, getting the shutout. Hand is raised from the referee. Let's see what that call is. And it appears one of the Kohlhepp brothers are to blame. A cross-checking goes against Abraham Kohlhepp. The first penalty of the game might come at a costly time. See if the Cyclones will have a chance to knot this one up at 1. 2 minutes on the power play. Could carry over in the second period if they don't convert in the first. Important for the Cyclones and for any team at this level, of course. You have the power play. Cannot let up a shorthanded goal to allow yourself to make this one-goal deficit a multi-goal deficit. Things continue to spiral out of control from here. This well-coached, disciplined Cyclones team has a chance, but Tempo was in the middle, went just past him. Back to the action off the skate of Han. Patempa will reset. Nice cross pass to Stiwiz. In the middle, through the legs. Far side Farage. Near the point. Game of catch with Farage. Angarola. Got a chance to right. Weird angle, but is stolen away. Great defense there. Connor Costanza's earning his keep. Puck trickles back. Referee signals it's not going to be an icing, so these Cyclones will play it quickly. Han fires it in, but I think that may have went out of play. We're going to get a stoppage, 44.6. Halfway done with the PK are the Chicago Bulldogs. Again, if you're not familiar with the format of these playoffs, 8 teams out of the 19 league made the playoffs. They're separated into 2 different brackets where they'll each play round robin, aka they'll play each of the other 3 teams in their bracket one time. Whoever gets the most points in terms of winning, losing, overtime losing, drawing, however they can accrue those points, will move on to play at Championship Sunday tomorrow. For these Bantam Red 2 players, that game is supposed to drop at noon here on the Green Rink at the Pleasant Prairie Recplex. Under 20 seconds remaining. The Cyclones want a goal heading into the first intermission. Will they get it? Far side, there's a chance. Shot saved from Pollock. Rebound opportunity also saved from Pollock. Farage was there. Veronica Pollock stands tall. Gorski wants one more. Off the skate, Pollock saves. Rebound's good! The Cyclones score! Cyclones doing the right thing towards the end of the power play, crashing the net, getting bodies in the crease, and finding that rebound chance. I believe we're going to credit that one to number 35, Caden Patempa. He's been all over. He's almost had a couple goals, but those almost goals have turned into the equalizer. 1-1 here with 3 seconds to play in the first. As that puck trickles to neutral ice. That will do it for our opening 14 minutes. A strong start for the Bulldogs, and it's matched up from a great finish from the Cyclones. We're going to take a short break here, but stick with us. More playoff hockey coming right here on SBS.
Home is more than a place. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones, expanding your horizons, or simply living the life you love. With all you have to protect, choose insurance you can count on, so you can experience more of what you live for. Country Financial. Experience more.
When you fire up Big Ten Plus, you get more game, non-stop, around the clock. More live games you won't see anywhere else. More access to your team, wherever you want, 24/7. More stories. Unstoppable. More highlights. Wow. More big-time playmakers. Plus, catch up to 4 games at once, so you'll never miss more shots, spikes, and scores. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on.
We return here to the Recplex Green Rink where the score should be 1-1 and is now. Your old pal Andy needed a second to get it. Andy Diedrich alongside Steve Taylor, who's supposed to be the color commentator. He's working the video right now, making it happen. 1-1 between the Chicago Bulldogs and the Cyclones. Off and running in the second period of play between these two titans of the Bantam Red 2 division. It is the Bulldogs controlling first here now that we're all situated. 40 seconds gone in this newly formed second period. Ice has been flipped. Still in his goal, Jordan Katzentones. One of the heroes for the Cyclones. Could have been a much more out-of-hand game. Veronica Pollock on the other one's going to get tested. Foul into his left. Defensive, amazing play, a broken stick in the process. some equipment there, but what a play to get in front of Jahari Fallon, who had just about as wide open a look at the goal as you can have. We're going to resume play after that, after the broken stick, and the puck went up and hit the net anyways. We're going to get a stoppage. Gorski's got it at the point, save from Pollock, still perfect on the evening. Bouncing back out, Andrew Aka. Aka hits it off the backboard to Bogus. Bogus wants to play it off the boards to himself. He's met from tough defense from Cirillo. Gorski's got it. Gorski, save off the shoulder of Pollock. Bulldogs bench showing Pollock some love. 3-on-2, odd man rush. Devani backhanded up in to Prescota. Devani's got to get back and play some D on the other end. On this near side, Emmett Turnberg. Under the stick of Turnberg. Gorski back to Turnberg in the center. Both teams dancing around that puck. Pollock's got to do something with it. Doesn't have to freeze it. There were no charging Cyclones imminent. Priscoro, weakly hit puck. Actually, a great pass. Up and ahead. Vincent Seawack. Seawack to his left. He'll wait. The defense from DeNicola was there. Wanted to center it. No one was there. Charging back in. Costanza. Redirect from Seawack. Stop. Not quite right. Seawack wants to collect the rebound. Puck at the toes. Now collected and grabbed out by the Cyclones. Puck will be sent out. Pollock's going to have to play this one because it's heading right for the goal. That puck nearly goes back in the net, trying to reset to teammate David Colehep. Catastrophe avoided, however. Up ahead are the Bulldogs off the skate. Fumagalli kept in briefly. Seawack's got a nice stick in there. Fumagalli with Costanza flanking him. Over the stick of the defender. Spinorama's no good. Back out to Brents, our lone goal scorer in this one. Ryan Brents with a early goal in this one. The lone goal scorer for the Bulldogs, excuse me. And of course, matched up by a late power play goal from the charging Caden Potempa of the Cyclones. And here are the Cyclones up and over off the board, still remaining in. That shot coming off the stick of Caleb Greaves. Gorski's had his hand in many a shots on goal as well. He sits at the center waiting for his teammate to collect. Etan Greaves. That's yet another set of brothers playing this game, this time on the side of the Cyclones. Caleb Greaves, number 39. Etan Greaves, number 89. Costanza has to be careful with this next pass. Wisely chooses to be patient with it. Behind the goal, in front of the slot. Under the stick, couldn't get the full stick on it, or else that was going to be a heck of a shot coming in. Etan Greaves was ready to let that one fly. Bulldogs back the other way. Save, not quite frozen, but still a save nonetheless. Jordan Katzentones. Etan Greaves hungry for that goal. He wants another chance. Devani's back there with his stick in the action. Fire it over the referee, back to Cameron Aka, who's now got some real estate in front of him. Odd man rush if the Bulldogs can get down there. Steiner to his left, on his right with the puck. The Bulldogs shooting going wide. Still a great look for them, though. Better quality of shots as this game has progressed. Abraham Colehep was the one taking that nice shot. Puck trickling back through the slot to the point. Bogus gets it right side. Orbiting back to Steiner in this near corner. Little bit of a hit delivered and a retaliation hit delivered from Potempa. Referees letting them play on. Good, clean hockey going on. Still some physical action. Slow moving behind the net. Bogus back to Aka. One substitution on for the Cyclones. One-timer off the skate of the defender. This time it's Bogus. Backhand chance. Not a whole lot of goals, but still a whole lot of action between these two squads. Looking for a cutting man are the Cyclones. DeNicola defended well by Steiner. Schibel, saved by Pollock. If it wasn't for that last power play goal with 3 seconds, Pollock still pitching a clean sheet. 1-1 still remains the count in this. I almost called it a ball game, but indeed they play with a puck. Patempa, the goal scorer for the Cyclones, wants to take it himself. Got a chance on the far side, but the defense from Bogus is there. Finds a man cutting. Waits patiently under the net of Pollock. DeNicola to the corner. Playing catch with his teammate in that corner was Angarola. Shot, Pollock saved, and will freeze it. 8:19 on the clock. Joshua Heacock in the faceoff circle for the Cyclones. Up against, I believe, one of the Colehep brothers. No, that was actually Daniel Kozlowski wearing number 98. Fallon's got it. Jahari Fallon. A big threat early, but the defense from the Bulldogs really has been their bread and butter so far in this contest. Shot, easily saved, still loose. Oh, goodness, near disaster there for Cats and Tones. Defense got it out of there in the nick of time, and he had good positioning on that far post. I thought I heard the whistle blow, but we continue to play on, however. Puck's loose, bouncing puck hits the referee, who's considered in play, so we play on. Retreating through the neutral zone, Costanza was defending Fallon. Jahari Fallon wants to get off and running, but it is the Aka brothers and Costanza denying him the chance. Kozlowski far corner, back to the point. One of the Coleheps, shot, rebound chance. They sniffed out, number 65. Great job to collect it, DeNicola. Fallon wanted a toe drag. Coleheps back to defend him. Hard hit, the Bulldog bench loves it. They love when these guys get these gritty hits, old school hockey. What else could you ask for? I forgot to start the clock again. Please direct your hate mail to me and only me. Everybody else is doing their jobs just fine. Up ahead, the Cyclones, far side, only Costanza to defend. Paulus remain a just absolute brick wall. Another game, fourth of the day, where we've really seen the Stars be both of the men and women between the pipes. Prescota to his left. Middle was Aka, too far in front of him. Line change coming out for the Bulldogs. Fallon really wants it. The triple team's there. They know how much of a threat 37 can be. Fallon to the middle, under the stick of number 11. That was Durand. No score here in the second period. Still a 1-1 tie as we're under 6 minutes and counting. Remember, for those of you who are not with us in the previous games, 14-minute periods. They do not bring the Zamboni out between. These teams will not be visiting the locker room. Kind of go one after another. Briscota's one-on-one. Back to the center. Saved, loose, but frozen in the nick of time. Jordan Katzentones, another good save and some shoving after the whistle. Don't think the refs are going to call anything. They just got to understand that's how hockey works. Line change for both teams forthcoming. Resume play with the Bulldogs in their zone. Bogus had the first snack at it. Ryan Brent's chasing. Also take this moment real quick. Welcome back my color commentator. It's another voice back in the booth. Hi, Steve Taylor.
It's great to be back, D.
We'll get an icing call. Thank you for returning over here. This is going to be great. We now have our videographer here, not any fault of his own.
Yoon Bin Cho. Shout out on the broadcast. Excellent timing.
A gentleman and a scholar, whatever you want to call him. We're thankful he's here. He's helping to bring you CSDHL playoff hockey here into your living rooms or wherever you might be watching this. Could be a jacuzzi.
That's
wherever that might be.
It would be a lot warmer than here. We're right above the ice, and there's even more of it outside.
Devani firing it into the corner. So I know you've been working a lot of the camera work. I'll tell you what I see, Mr. Taylor, and we will go from there as another weekly hit puck for the Bulldogs. It's really been another story of the defensive game. It's not that the offense hasn't gotten chances, and not that there's talent on both sides when it comes to the offensive end, but whether it's the goalies or the defenders, just really great stuff. Brick wall-esque from both squads.
Honestly, it's just been a great start.
Goalie.
Cancantones is just been locked down on the goaltending side for the Cyclones, but really, Veronica Pollock, what a phenomenal start in the game. Absolutely phenomenal goaltending. It's really been just back and forth hockey, exciting. Only one penalty, I think, between the two of them.
It's an important distinction to make, too, because that one penalty did cost the lead for the Chicago Bulldogs. They came on a power play goal late in the first that was netted by Caden Patempa of the Cyclones. So it's an important distinction. When these teams are at even strength, hard to score in them. As it's an important distinction to make, as we see a power play forthcoming for the Chicago Bulldogs. On the power play, Bogus has it at the point. Redirect chance from Colehep. Still loose in the crease. Charging up is Hahn. Costanza will collect. And keeping it in, the Bulldogs want this time on attack. Make the Cyclones work in the shift. Colehep the rebound. Saved by Katzentones. Around, just missed. Katzentones diving save in the nick of time. Jordan Katzentones take a bow.
Katzentones, what a sprawling save. Really fortunate that he had a little extra time to get over there, but he wasted none of the time that they gave him. Getting the glove on there, getting a stoppage in play, and really slowing it down for us.
We talk about the puck luck. If that puck's a few inches different, maybe that's in the net. But you can't think about that if you're the man in the net. Jordan Katzentones, just an absolute crazy play there, just sprawling across that crease to get it done.
And that's where you also have to thank your posts. Great opportunity there. Just stays out.
Again, it's a 1-1 game, but at times feel like I can't even take a breath in this one. It's one of those low-scoring games we were complaining about, but there's a whole lot of action to watch here, Steve.
This is one of the really exciting parts of hockey, when you get some of the back and forth like this. And I really expected a little bit more excitement from these teams, which is crazy to say. But the last time they played, January 25th, there was a couple of late penalties in that meeting. One game misconduct midway through the third, and one unsportsmanlike with no time left. I'm not trying to hold the Bulldogs accountable for their past mistakes or anything like that. It's a whole new game, and boy, is it exciting.
Well, the Bulldogs with a chance. Colehep to his left. Backhand save from Katzentones. Still loose on that left side. Another spin. Katzentones grabbed it out of the air and holds it up like a prize. Colehep, some pushing and shoving after the whistle. But still, the power play just about 75% of the way killed.
He looked like a juggler out there. The Ringling Brothers, the Barnum and Bailey Circus, they want their goaltender back.
And maybe a bit too much of a shove after the whistle for number 91, David Colehep of the Bulldogs. One penalty on both teams. We're going to get 4-on-4 hockey for the next 38 seconds. Again, there's a reason that the sudden death overtimes are 3-on-3. I know this is 4-on-4, but it's definitely not 5-on-5. Since defense has been a strong suit, do you expect to see a goal with one of these teams down a man or both down a man?
I could see it. Now, 38 seconds isn't a long time, now down a little under 30. But we saw a 4-on-4 matchup earlier today in our first match of the day between the Yellow Jackets and the Falcons. That made it really exciting. It really opens the ice up, and we're going to see some opportunities as the Bulldogs break out of the zone.
Chance for the Bulldogs in the 4-on-4. Saved. Dropped for a second, but then wisely frozen. Jordan Katzentones gave up a goal really early in this one, and has probably made 20 or so consecutive saves without really breaking a sweat.
He's really been standing on his head. The big thing is to secure the rebound. He dropped that last one, and it only landed right in front of him. Easy to put the glove on, but you got to keep an eye on that. Any of those loose pucks can end up in the back of the net if you're not careful.
So clock's moving. We're now under 3 minutes in the second period, and that's going to do it for the penalty that was afflicting the Cyclones. So the 4-on-4 action is over. Now it stands to be a power play back for the Cyclones with a man skating out of the box. It's Caden Patempa, the goal scorer. He's got it to the center, does it himself. Pollock save. Still loose. Rebound. Now it's a penalty kill time for the Bulldogs. Good cross pass to Patempa under his stick. Schneewiz goes to help him collect. Left for Schneewiz at the blue line. In. Great deflection pass over. Bouncing puck. Hard to watch. Joshua Heacock had a look at it. Pollock had to grab it and save. Another juggling save into the glove of Pollock. Leather being flashed on both ends of the rink.
What an acrobatic save. Veronica Pollock putting on a clinic. This is really a goalie's matchup. The goals that have made it in, they're phenomenal, but you really can't fault the goaltenders at all. Phenomenal performance.
All of that, there's still 2:21 left in the second, 52 seconds left in a power play, an entire 14-minute third period, dare I say, and more. Once again, we've already had 2 overtime games in our first 3 matches. What's one more, Steve?
That's just the ones we've covered. That's not even including the one that's put us a little behind schedule today. A just knockdown drag-out between the Vipers and the Sabres in a playoff game. It was a separate division, so it's not part of our coverage of the Bantam playoffs, but phenomenal. I mean, I'm overusing the word. I need to pull the thesaurus back out, but find a better word to describe this playoff hockey.
Hey, with us commentating for these octet, all 8 games today, we deserve a little bit of being spectators, because that was a great game to watch. Credit to both of those teams, Vipers and the Sabres, I think you said.
The Vipers ended up pulling that one out.
One-timer, somehow Patempa wasn't able to connect with it. Looked like that was a sure goal on the far side. Penalty kill successful for the Bulldogs, so the 4-on-4 into the power play does not go against either team. Back to even strength. In the middle, intercepted. Trying to run this one down is Colehep. Can he get there first? Patempa's there. No push from the back penalty. Colehep's got it, 3-on-2, but now the defense recovers.
That's a tough one. They are making a play on the puck with that, but that is contact where all you're seeing is the numbers. It's not going to be a boarding call because it's in the middle of the ice, but definitely a tough one right there. Not quite a penalty, but something to keep an eye on for Colehep.
We'll see if the Cyclones coaching staff maybe has a word with the referees as they take this intermission shortly with 48 seconds of counting in the second. Angarola gets to it. Far side hounded by the Bulldog defense.
Pushing it ahead, a breakout for Seawick.
Back tap to himself. Bulldog shoots. Glove save. Cats and Tone says no, sir, for one more time tonight.
It is turning into a highlight reel for both of them. Cats and Tones. Oh, my goodness.
50 cents into club is playing right now. It sure feels like he's celebrating like it's his birthday there in the crease. I mean, but yeah, you look to the other side of Veronica Pollock, other than the one power play goal, has pretty much got a clean sheet herself. It's going to be another game that's going to go in the third period. Is going to keep us really excited, be really electrifying. Isn't this one of the greatest sports in the world, Steve, if not the greatest? Scored!
Right place, right time. It's Steiner.
That's the thing about hockey. You can have goals when you can have no goals when you most expect them, and then you can have scoring when you least expect it. I was talking about how it's the greatest sport. I think that's a big reason why. The Chicago Bulldogs back on top late in the second period.
If you find yourself rewinding the stream to catch that goal on replay, Canson Tones moving from his left to his right, just spreads just a little too far, and Steiner able to find it 5-hole. We got ourselves a lead, and it belongs to the Bulldogs.
Michael Steiner netting goal number 2 on the day for his Chicago Bulldogs. He joins Ryan Brentz as the other goal scorer. Cyclones responded once on a power play late in the first. Looks like they're going to have to wait till the third to get their response. 1 second on the clock, and the horn sounds. Well, Steve, looked like it was going to be another defensive grudge match. Not that it still can't be, but that late goal from the Bulldogs might be all they need heading into this third period.
Oh, it's going to lift them. It's going to really take them over the edge. We're going to have a really exciting way to close out the third period. I can't wait to see it.
So stick with us, folks. The third period, and maybe more, depending on this game has been going, is coming up right here on SBS.
Home is more than a place. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones, expanding your horizons, or simply living the life you love. With all you have to protect, choose insurance you can count on, so you can experience more of what you live for. Country Financial. Experience more.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, it started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search
We join you back from the broadcast booth here at the Recplex's Green Rink. Alongside Steve Taylor, I'm Andy Diedrich. They're playing 1999 by Prince. A lot of these players, I'm sure they want to party like it's 1999. However, being 14 or younger years old, crazy to think some of these players maybe were born in 2011 or 2012. Difficult to party in 1999 if you were born in such a year. But enough about me rambling about a Prince song that's not even that good. Let's get back to the action here. 2-1 in favor of the Chicago Bulldogs. A game both these teams sorely need to win if they want to contend for the title match tomorrow. Nice toe drag, but it's bad out of there by Pollock and the Bulldog defense. Both of these teams in the Bantam Red 2 Bracket 1. The Cyclones lost their first playoff matchup, so a loss in regulation here all but seals their fate. A tie or overtime loss will pretty much make it quite an uphill battle for them to qualify for Championship Sunday tomorrow. The Cyclones needing a win, whether they can get it in regulation or overtime for the most part. And the Bulldogs with a win yesterday. A win here will pretty much pave the road for them to head to the Bantam Red 2 title game tomorrow at noon. But a loss here leaves a lot of things up in the air after Bloomington fell, and then probably a surprise upset loss, a lot of people will call it, to the Blues the game before this. So some drama in the Bantam Red 2 Bracket 1. We're going to see some of the action in Bracket 2, I believe, later here on SBS. But for now, I will give you the update and the standings as the Bulldogs continue to work the puck in deep. Excuse me, the Cyclones continue to do that, but now it's the Bulldogs going to collect on a missed pass. So our latest update on the other side of the Bantam Red 2 bracket. Remember, whoever wins that side is going to face off the winner of potentially one of these two teams, or it could be the Chicago Blues or the Bloomington Thunder. The Ice Dogs and Sabres are the victors. The two games over in the Bantam Red 2 Bracket 2. Afton Vipers were the losers, so we will keep track of that to see who one of these teams may face off in tomorrow, if applicable. Also, on a quick personal note, I want to give a congratulations to my dear friend Steve Gaynor, the birth of his new child, which he affectionately named Obi. We're all big University of Dayton fans. Obi Toppin, one of the best players to ever grace that school. Congrats to Steve and little baby Obi. Fallon's got it outside with a nice little spin move. Fallon looks like one of the more dangerous threats for this Cyclones team. As he gets the puck here, gets it to the middle, shoots off the post. Are you kidding? Almost right on cue, Jahari Fallon. Pollock with a good save on it, got it enough out of the way to make Fallon's shot go wide, but close call there. Could have been the equalizer. Aka, one-timer from Colehep. That's David Colehep, of course, joined by his brother Abraham, who's not out there yet. We saw the duo taken over earlier, however. 0-0 falling down to here, Devani. No call from the referee in that far corner. Remember, only two referees in this level of the sport. It'd be different maybe if we had a third official donning the zebra stripes. Off the boards up ahead. Siwek, Aka, Colehep will skate off. Entirely new line, minus number 25, Charles Trey, back in. Brent's shot goes wide. Thought he had goal number 2. Back there, it's a long shift for Charles Trey. In the corner, bodies flying. Bulldog bench loving it once again. Bogus kept it in, flings it back. Brents, nice move to himself, deflected. Swing and a miss back when he got the rebound. Puck trickles back down. That passes the necessary lines. Icing is the call. Just under 10 minutes to play. And we'll welcome Steven Taylor back once again. A little bit of a shuffle when it comes to the personnel, but the more important thing is we got a great hockey game in front of us once again.
We absolutely do. The Cyclones just really trying to hammer it home to see if they can finally get through and solve Veronica Pollock. Just a great performance. It's really exciting hockey.
Nice save there. Hasn't had a lot of saves in the recent minutes, but it's had a lot all game. Jordan Katzentones. Big reason why this lead isn't more for the Chicago Bulldogs. Back the other way, under 9.5 remaining. Duran was skating through the neutral zone with it, but it's flicked back, some back and forth action. Brent's off his stick loosely. Upset he didn't get it to Colehep, but now Brent's gonna go steal it back for a moment. And back and forth we go once again. Bogus. 2 defenders in front of him, shoots, glove save, loving that left side with the glove.
Katzentones locked in. Great shot, but an even better save. Bogus, and that shot was anything but.
That's why we need 2 of the guys up here in the booth, folks. Steve is good with the puns. I am good at screaming and yelling when somebody puts a puck in the net, and that's about it.
Pushed ahead to Greaves. Slipping on the puck was Kolchak.
Yep, that's one of the 2 brothers for the Chicago Bulldogs. That was David, I believe. Back out, number 35 for the Bulldogs, Jameson Fumagalli. Another great hockey name. You can't get enough of the 4-syllable last names when it comes to hockey.
You certainly cannot.
I just had to count real quick, make sure I was good. Dangerous in front, loose puck. Getting to it was Fumagalli and then getting knocked on his keister. In the middle, Prescott had that and might have spelled trouble. 0-0, Devani fires it back in. Clock continuing to churn down. Bulldogs taking up a lot of time with this time on attack. Even if they don't score, how important is it for them to keep it out of the hands of the charging Cyclones?
It's the 3rd period. There's 8 minutes left, and you need a goal. You want to stay in control of the puck. You'll do it in any way you can. You're starting to see a little pushing and shoving, but nothing that isn't above board. Everything is just a matter of controlling the puck and trying to get it in the back of the net.
I think you hear this phrase a lot when it comes to certain quarterbacks in the NFL, that they're a game manager, but that's really about playing the game that's in front of you. And if you ask any hockey coach, why would you get too aggressive here when you have the 1-goal lead in a game that you need for pole position trying to get to that title game? Would you agree?
I agree. It's definitely, you want to be in control of the tournament. But a little miscommunication here. Springs ahead for Aka.
Even though they're playing back a little bit, almost a chance they're springing for them. So it's speaking to your point, let them make the mistakes. You continue to play your fundamentals and not get too cute with it. Already with a 1-goal lead, I think you're in whatever the opposite of dire straits is. Maybe good hands, I don't know.
Absolutely. Sun Tzu in The Art of War says, never interrupt your enemy while they're making a mistake. Now, this isn't exactly some Sun Tzu Art of War, but it certainly is a lot of fun to watch. Pushed ahead, but they can't quite connect.
In the passing lanes are the Bulldogs, but now they have to get back. Angarolo's got Pulik with him. Potempo was with him.
Almost a 2-on-1 if they had hurried.
They might need a little bit of that Sun Tzu in The Art of War right now. The general knew a couple things or two, and the Cyclones need to pull this one out if they want to stay alive for the championship of Bantam Red 2 in the CSDHL.
Trickles through, and it looks like Kolchak may have an opportunity.
Abraham Colehep, 1-on-1, shoots, it's still loose, charging in! How does that puck not go in? Did not cross the goal line. Incredulous that he didn't score a goal there is Cameron Aka, and with him. How did that one not go in? What did you see, Steve?
Oh, it was the tripping, but that was, there are no words. I did see the puck find its way to the back of the net before I heard the whistle. However, I'm not really sure how they're going to call this one, whether they're going to try and get him on a penalty shot.
I think I was so brought in with the near goal there from Cameron Akau, which may have put this one away with under 6.5 minutes to go, that we have a gentleman of both teams visiting the penalty box. We'll see exactly what that call is, whether it's going to be 4-on-4, whether it was a game misconduct. I think the referee's still trying to sort that out. Harlem Shake is playing this long. I actually didn't know the song was this long, to be honest with you. I feel like back in the day we heard the first 30 seconds and that was about it.
This was a big Vine trend, but you only had to hear 6 seconds of it. Now it looks like we're dealing... So the call on the ice looked like either a cross-check or a hook. The ref does not like to give us the idea. He faces the scorekeeper.
I didn't quite see the indication there, but it looks like there's only 4 skaters out there for the Bulldogs. No, there's the 5th skater for the Bulldogs right now.
Looks like it's still going to be 5-on-5 hockey. They did call what looked like a hook or a cross-check, but they didn't seem to do anything with it, and I couldn't tell whether they were trying to call it a major penalty or a high stick. I did think I saw a high stick as part of the ref's hand dances.
How about a loose stick picked up by Gorski there? That puck still bouncing around in the slot. Still loose. My goodness, finally collected by one of the Geneva Cyclones, and what a break for them. Almost could have been down 2 goals there or had a power play going against them. Right now, still back at even strength and within 1 good shot of tying this one up.
Those are the kinds of bounces that'll just get your blood boiling. Bouncing around in the slot, you're really not sure whether it's going to come through or not. It's really tough to get through with that one. It just gets you anxious.
And he's been quiet so far. He's had a couple good looks at the goal, though. Number 37, Jahari Fallon, is the name I've been watching for the Geneva Cyclones. He's in front of the net loose, but Pollock getting that out of harm's way. Nice glove, freezing it, 5:30 to go.
And Pollock's just been really stepping up, and it's really going to matter down the stretch whether Pollock can really just lock in her crease and finish this game for the Bulldogs and put them in the driver's seat.
So I want to apologize, folks. We've been telling you it's 2-1 the whole time, and that is the score. But our score bug said it was 1-1 the whole time, and there is nobody but to blame other than myself. So to Steve Taylor, to our entire crew, I'm not crying actually, but I am sorry, folks. It is 2-1 in favor of the Chicago Bulldogs. My sincerest apologies. Hopefully that doesn't happen in these final 5.5 minutes or so.
Hey, it's the excitement that got us. When you get a goal like we just saw, or an almost goal like we just saw, it kind of slips your mind there. Pollock with another save, knocked out of harm's way.
You're not kidding. I think excitement's a word for everybody in here, whether or not they have a rooting interest. Pollock, another save. No, that got through, but did not go in the goal. That's what counts. Bulldogs, I thought I had an odd man rush brewing, but no such luck. On that far side, Kozlowski fires it in. They'll keep the same line out. Kozlowski will try a forecheck by himself. Now Costanza enters. But some nifty stick work from the man he's defending.
Pushing ahead, almost a 2-on-1 if they could have broken free. We had a storm watch, but not quite a storm warning.
That was good. In the middle, great feed, just a bit out in front of him. That's the one thing at this level I'll also notice. That chemistry is just so close to being perfect, where you could see these guys connect on so many more one-timers. It's just a matter of getting experience and more time under the skates.
And it makes more sense this late in the season with the playoffs. They've been playing together since October, September timeframe. These guys are very comfortable with one another. Their tryouts are happening just next week, I believe, and then they'll start their practices into the summertime.
I think a lot of hockey families, whether they played or not, will tell you there really is no off-season when it comes to hockey, especially at this level doing the travel and club stuff. Back in Farage. Haven't called his name in a while. With under 4 minutes, though, he's looking to make that change. Still under, head on a swivel. Veronica Pollock has been tremendous after the late goal in the first and the power play. Colehap through the legs of the defender. He'll shoot. Maybe a quick save there from Cats and Stones. Devani, Seaweck. Wide shot, but still more time on attack means less time on attack in the hands of the Geneva Cyclones. Shot for Columbus, scores!
It's Steiner again. What a shot. He just finds himself in the slot and lets it rip.
Michael Steiner, an absolute bullet of a shot right when they needed it. Some might call that the dagger, Steve. 3-1 in favor of the Bulldogs. It's going to be a long road ahead for the Cyclones trying to battle back.
Step 1, grip it. Step 2, rip it. Michael Steiner has the manual.
2 goals on the day for Michael Steiner. The first from Ryan Brents, and he followed suit with 2 of his own. It might be time to pull the goalie, Cats and Stones, out of net if you are the Geneva Cyclones. We'll see if they choose to do that. I think that coaching staff, knowing that they need this one in terms of if they want to advance, are going to throw everything they can at the wall and see what sticks.
And it's not that they're too far off. I think that's one thing to keep in mind if you're on this Cyclones team, is to understand this game is not really that, it's not over. 2 goals, it's a bit of a steep road back, but it's not impossible, and they can come really quick. The Cyclones have been, for the most part, in the driver's seat. They just haven't quite gotten the bounces.
You can tell just great coaching from both of these teams. Neither team feeling like they've either won it or lost it already, continuing to play hard until that final buzzer sounds.
Barrage almost able to keep it in the zone. Pushed ahead and dumped in by DeNicola.
Him and Bantam have had quite good sticks. I just think it's really the defense of the Bulldogs I'm going to give the entire MVP to, that back line as well as Veronica Pollock.
And the defense is going to be the name of the game. We're going to look back at this game and we're going to talk a lot about the defense and a lot about Veronica Pollock. But you really can't even count out Cancentones. Cancentones has been standing on his head and really kept him in it. And like I say, even under 2 minutes, this game is far from over.
And we'll see if the Cyclones can clear it here. Does he skate off to get the extra skater on the ice? You'd imagine at this point you have nothing else to lose. It's just a matter of getting it out of that zone, which the Bulldogs have been tremendous at on the attack and the forecheck.
The big thing is just trying to control the puck in the offensive zone. It's not just the offsides like we just see here. It is going to be trying to make sure that you can hold on to the puck, because any turnover can result in an empty net goal, and nobody's thrilled at that. But hey, look, we got some extracurricular activity.
Some pushing and shoving after the whistle between some foes.
Bantam, some words.
Some words, a shove or two. The referee doing a good job of keeping things settled. The Bulldogs seemingly fired up for it. The referee's talking to Bantam for a long time. Are we going to see him get ejected?
Yeah, that'll be his night for Bantam. Game misconduct this late in the game, that'll just do it. And with that, they've got the clock still running. I'm not sure if that's an intentional move.
Yeah, we do see the clock running here at Pleasant Prairie. I'm not sure why that is.
We've still got 1:37 by our count. And so it'll be a 10-minute misconduct for Bantam. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct call.
So I think a timeout was called. Despite the name timeout, the time was not called out.
Time is running out.
The time is running out. That is the one thing. I mean, we knew this game, especially after that ejection there from Katie Bantam, who scored the lone goal for the Cyclones in this game. We knew after the ejection that was pretty much it. They have now successfully reset the clock to 1:37, but still, though, you just never want to see it end like that for the Cyclones. I think that it's starting to set in that unless they have a great comeback here in the final 97 seconds of this one, they're not going to be lifting that trophy at the end of the season.
And it's unfortunate, but, I mean, you're almost having to count on Pollock just disappearing from the crease. Pollock has been phenomenal all day. Great performance by her. And she's really, like, I think she's got a future in the crease at the next level.
So it's always important to know. I watch a lot of high school hockey, and you always think in the back of your mind when you see somebody that's really, really good at what they do, oh, they must be a senior, must be either going on to the next level or this is the best they'll be, so it's fine. These are 14-year-olds. their potential hasn't even been close to realized yet. And that's what's so exciting about watching these young athletes, is thinking about where they're going to be in a year's time, in 2 years' time, when they're senior night in high school, whatever it happens to be.
At 14, I don't know if Veronica Pollock is already thinking about college, but you already got to believe that the big schools are looking to recruit. We're talking Minnesota Duluth, Minnesota Minneapolis, Twin Cities, Boston University. I can expect some big things out of there.
And so the misconduct penalty is assessed to the Cyclones and Caden Patempa. I believe I saw it was Emmett Turnberg that's going to serve that. It's 5 minutes up on the board here. I don't think 5 minutes will be served. Only 1:37 remaining. So technically it is a power play for the Bulldogs, which makes things awkward for, on the other end for the Cyclones. They were trying to pull their goalie, Steve. Now they can't.
Exactly. You beat me to the punch. They just have to put Canson Tones back in net for at least the face-off. But we'll see how it plays out for the rest of the game. Honestly, this is just a teachable moment. It shows you what you can do when you deal with some of the adversity like this. But the Cyclones, their season might end here, but the team has a lot of future. Even with these guys, everybody on this team has really shown a lot of potential.
That is the one thing to take out from this. You know, these are such young athletes, so good at what they do already. I mean, nice move from Heacock there. Again, I mean, even in losing effort, some of these players giving it their all are really showing what they can do. And here's going to be an empty netter to cap things off for the Chicago Bulldogs. Daniel Kozlowski puts a bow on this one, 4-1. Bulldogs are going to take this one.
And that's the big thing, is you want to make sure you maintain control of the puck as you get to the offensive zone. It's not as easy as just a chip and chase there. Minute and 1 second until this one's recorded in the books, but that might do it.
For a lot of the teams, goal differential is important when it comes to tiebreakers when ascending to that title game. But the Chicago Bulldogs, this is going to be their second win in as many games. So again, the ability to control your own destiny. You go out and win that third playoff game, you play for a title tomorrow at noon.
It does unfortunately put the Chicago Blues a little bit behind the 8 ball. They were really Cyclones fans coming into this contest after their exciting 3-2 overtime win over the Bloomington Thunder. But now with the Bulldogs taking 2 wins and that extra point in the overtime loss going to the Bloomington Thunder, that really does put the strain on the Blues. As a takeaway here by Fallon.
Jahari Fallon wants his name in the stat book, but another save for Pollock it goes. So this Bantam Red 2 Bracket 1, now that we're seeing more of the games being played, seeing it take shape, it'll be the Chicago Bulldogs ascending to the top with 4 points. Bloomington just behind them with 3. They had a win and an overtime loss, as Steve just mentioned, against the Blues. So it looks like it's going to come down to whoever the Bulldogs play in their final matchup, who I believe is going to be Bloomington.
It should be Bloomington.
And that's exactly who it's going to be on the other rink at 7:40. Time ticks out here, but time is definitely benefiting the Chicago Bulldogs right now. Their second win in as many playoff games comes against the Geneva Cyclones, 4-1. Cyclones, we already talked about how great that they have been all season, fighting, staying in contention despite maybe not having the best end of the regular season. But man, these Chicago Bulldogs might be the favorite, not only coming out of the bracket just to advance the title game, but to take the whole thing home.
It's really looking good for the Bulldogs. They've got to be excited. They're out of Lincolnwood at Heartland Ice Arena as their home ice. And they're looking to add some hardware going into championship weekend. They control their own destiny. All they have to do is win or tie or an overtime loss tomorrow, and that puts them into championship weekend.
Hard to believe that there were 3 teams that finished in front of them in this Bantam Red 2 division. But either way, all you got to do is play your best hockey when it matters. You tell me, Steve. I think it matters right now.
It absolutely does. Playoff hockey, it always comes down to this. Little discussion there at center ice, but honestly, it's just a handshake and respect for one another.
What a way to conclude things here in this matchup with some sportsmanship. 4-1, the Chicago Bulldogs take this playoff game over the Geneva Cyclones. That's going to do it for our 4th game of the 8-game marathon we have here of playoff hockey here in the CSDHL. For Steve Taylor, I'm Andy Diedrich. We're going to see you at the next puck drop here.